Good Thursday and happy noon from the Sweeties.
Oh no, we lost our favorite toy.
Coming at you live from the Sweetie Land.
Yo,
so I gotta tell you guys, over the last 2 days, there was no espresso, and it's really like not the same. Not seeing you guys virtually and hanging out and singing Kumbaya with you. So
it is not the same.
Really grateful to be here. Really grateful for having you guys join us. Who do we have? Daniela Guapa, Eldub, Heidi, Veronica, Tracy, Facebook user, Kristen, Facebook user, Patricia. Wow.
Okay, who else do we have here? You know who else we have here? Yo, my name is Callie, and my moms do this show, and they want to help a lot of people, and now you know. And I'm so cute, you can't resist. I'm the sweetiest sweetie that ever did exist. My name's Callie. Boom. Did you like my flow?
Boogie has something to say.
Hold on. Did you like my flow?
Let's
hold on for a second. That was sick. Eminem style.
That was really great, Callie. You have a talent. Boogie said him must call someone.
Okay. Yeah, who are you? I'll hold it for him here.
Calling Auntie Eldub. Need emergency massage time. Hello, are you here?
Auntie.
It's not the same without you.
Auntie, I miss you really much.
Not the same without you.
I miss you. And
really I tried it yesterday morning. Not the same.
Mamas are not as good as you, I must admit.
You guys, it's great to be here. So today is Thursday. Okay.
All right. He's had enough.
Okay, go grab your seat.
Boy.
All right. So today's Thursday, and on Thursdays we're going to be going over all things lifestyle. And since this episode is being recorded during the summertime, by the way, this show is called Espresso with Erin Sarit. So I would love to know from you guys who in here is a coffee drinker. Because if you are a coffee drinker, then this episode is going to be amazing for you. If you're not a coffee drinker, then my question to you is, are you a tea drinker? Because if so, then this episode is going to add value to you as well.
Are you a beverage drinker?
If you don't drink neither coffee or tea, then we need to have a talk. Just kidding. But yeah, we'd love to know, what is it that you
love coffee?
Love coffee, drinking some right now. Coffee and tea. Okay. Love coffee, love tea. All right. So today we're going to be talking about how to clean up your coffee orders when you go to your, by the way, I would love to know, like, if it comes to, like, when it comes to like making an order of coffee, where do you get your coffee from if you don't drink it from home? Because I believe that there's two types of people in the world. Starbucks people and everybody else.
Starbucks people and anywhere else people.
Just kidding. I know that, especially for those of you guys who live in other countries. You have
in Canada, it's Tim Hortons.
You have your Tim Hortons, but in this country, I truly believe is that you're either a Starbucks drinker or everything else but Starbucks. And we surely are those Starbucks people because we're big fans of Howard Schultz and consistency. Starbucks, let's go. Tim Horton.
There it is, Starbucks and Tim Hortons.
All right. So, how to clean up your coffee orders? Dunkin'.
Dunkin's very much an East Coast thing.
Yeah. I used to be a Dunkin' person. And then I found Starbucks.
Do I think Starbucks has the greatest coffee in the world? No, but they are consistent. And when you order something, you know what you're getting every time.
Well, you know, in this conversation, it like whether you're a Starbucks drinker, a Tim Hortons drinker, it really doesn't matter. It's about how to clean up your orders. So there's a couple of things that we have to take into consideration when it comes to your coffee order. Most coffee drinks nowadays are like they barely have any coffee. It's just like a lot of shit with a sprinkle of coffee on top. And now you have a coffee beverage. So really the intention is to shed some light with regards to, okay, like what's really going on in your coffee drink. Okay, so the first thing that we have to consider is what is the basis of the drink? Is it either dairy or non-dairy, or is it water-based? So for example, when I go to Starbucks, I mean, I have a different order at home from when I serve myself coffee versus when I go to Starbucks. But either way, all of my coffee drinks are always water-based. Okay. So like, what are some beverages that are water-based? Those would be like your French presses. Those would be like your Americanos. You know, anything that's got latte, frap, flat white, that kind of thing. I'm like the tea or frap or flat white, like the name just says it all. It's like it's already a milky basis, whether we're talking about milk or milk substitute, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's just like it's got this suave end, right? Versus Americano, just like
that's the distinguisher. Got it.
So the first thing for you to identify is what is the basis of your coffee? Is it a water base or is it a, you know, milky base? And I don't care whether we're talking about soy milk or dairy milk. And we're going to talk about like milk and its substitutes.
Or almond milk or goat milk or oat milk or
in just a second.
Cashew milk.
But the reality is that if you want to keep it on the cleaner side, and I'm not saying that you have to do this all the time, like every once in a while, if you're like, Sarit, but I like, there's this latte that I love, like, dude, just treat yourself to a latte every once in a while if that's your thing. But I will tell you that if you treat yourself to a latte every single day and like you got body composition goals, like then we need to have a talk.
It's what you get on a regular basis. It's what you like. What are you ordering consistently? What's the go-to?
Yeah.
And somebody's like, Starbucks burns that. It says Facebook user for people in the group, but they're like, Starbucks burns their beans for consistency. And I'm like, hey.
Starbucks do burn their beans. You can smell
it. If they're crushing it, they're crushing it.
Right.
So maybe other people should start burning their beans.
Yeah.
It's not the bean burning. It's great service. Because anytime a drink is wrong, too, they're like, let me just make you a new one.
How well-known. Most well-known bean beats best bean.
True.
And I will tell you that because I won't tell you that Starbucks is my favorite bean.
And most accessible.
Yeah, but Starbucks is more well-known.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways, so water base versus milky base. So ask yourself a question like, okay, what is the basis of my coffee? That is what you want to start with. And if it's a milky basis, then I encourage you to switch up your order to something that is a water base.
But Sarit, what if I'm not trying to lose weight? Does it still matter?
Do you have body composition goals?
I mean, I'm into maintenance.
What's maintenance? Like maintenance looks different for everybody.
You're talking about
but are you trying to be lean?
Yeah.
You trying to be lean?
Yeah. I'm doing a great job. But what if I get lattes when I go to Starbucks?
But how often do you get them?
Maybe like once or twice a month.
There you go. Then it's irrelevant.
I'm playing the devil's advocate.
Yeah, and you're doing a great job at that. So
I don't know if that's a compliment.
Stop challenging me. So what's the basis of your beverage? That's the first thing that we need to get clear on, okay? And then speaking about whether it's milky or watery, now let's talk about the milky substitutes or additions or whatever goes into it. So I feel like most health conscious people are like very much anti-milk. And I want to share with you my 2 cents with regards for milk. I think that mass-produced milk, basically the milk that you get in most places nowadays, is absolute shit. Just like mass-produced meat or mass-produced anything. But whole milk that came from pastured, grass-fed cows that were happy is like one of the most nutrient-dense foods ever. Benedential. It's just that it's not common nowadays to find, a high-quality milk. So, I want to shed some light on it because milk is not necessarily bad for you. Of course, if you're sensitive to dairy or if you're, if you have intolerance, then of course, if you have an intolerance for anything, then it's not serving you. But I'm just talking about generally milk that comes from happy cows is very nutrient dense. Okay. And I mean, that's why we're able to grow on it. But of course, for some people, it could be an ethical issue too. But either way, just wanted to shed some light on that is that, just because it's a dairy milk doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad. Okay. And it's important to bring it up because, like a lot of health conscious people will just say, oh, I'll have soy milk instead of dairy milk. And if I'm like, okay, but why? Like, there's no reasoning behind it. If there is a reasoning behind what you do, then by all means, go ahead and do it. But if you don't know and you just assume, then do you have all of the information to know that you're making the right choice? So, I mean, also, do we know what kind of variety of almond milk the coffee place is using? You don't see the carton. Yeah, you just get the drink. So we were just talking about regular milk. So let's just transition to the other milks. So then we have the milk substitutes, right? And nowadays we have. Well, you were talking about soy versus regular. So I went that route. So we have a lot of milk substitutes, right? Like we have the soy, we have the almond, we got a coconut, we got the cashew. We now have oat milk, which is now really popular, especially among the health conscious community. I would love to know in the comments what topping do you use for your coffee? Topping? Like with like milk or milk substitute? What do you use? Topping sounds like whipped cream. Yeah. Like a puppuccino. No, yeah, please do not put toppings on your coffee. That would not be a smart way to start your day. But I would love to know what you guys do. So now let's talk about the milk substitutes now. So when it comes to the milk substitutes, and then on the dairy side, we also have half and half and heavy cream. So with regards to the milk substitutes, just because it's non-dairy doesn't necessarily mean that it's good for you per se, or that it's a free-for-all. In fact, a lot of those, milk substitutes do have added sugar. So you definitely want to make it a point to see, okay, well, does it have any added sugar? Because if so, you definitely want to go for the unsweetened version. Most coffee places will probably have the regular version, depending on the owner. If it's like a mom and pop coffee shop and the owner has extremely high standards, then you'll probably be able to find like a top-notch, dairy substitute creamer that's like really clean. But You know, like when you go to Dunkin' Donuts and you're like, can I get almond milk? Chances are is that it's the regular Silk almond milk or something like that, which has some kind of sugar. But of course, I would say if we're talking about mass-produced almond milk versus mass-produced milk, like just have less of it overall. Like
I know that Starbucks uses like a barista. It's like a special one for whatever. And I asked one time if I could look at it, if I could see like the carton. She handed it to me, and it still has sugar in it. You know, it still has a lot. It's not your unsweetened vanilla almond milk that you get from, you know, the grocery store, the supermarket. It's a different kind of almond milk, and it has sugar in it. I still, like I said, I'll still choose to get it. Sometimes it's like 1 time or 2 times a month. And so, you know, you still have to be mindful of the things that are going in your coffee. If you're like almond milk, you know, a lot of people are well-intended. They're like, I'm going to do almond milk instead of the dairy milk for whatever the reason is, but not knowing still like what kind of almond milk is being used, what kind of oat milk is being used, what is in it. Is an almond version better than a cow version, like Sarit was just talking about? Who knows?
Yeah. And a lot of almond milks out there too are extremely mass produced. So like, even if it's like non-dairy, like not all almond milks are created equal. Okay. So, you know, the main thing to keep in mind when it comes to that is that when it comes, we haven't even gone to like the flavored creamers yet. That's a category in and of itself. But I'm talking about like the plain, either plain almond milk, plain coconut milk, plain dairy milk, you know, like just know that not all of them are created equal. And, you know, just proceed with caution. And the main thing to keep in mind is that as long as that is not the base of your drink, then, you know, that is more in alignment with your goals.
We're going to talk about sweeteners.
We're going to talk about sweeteners in just a second. But the next thing that I want to touch up on is the half and halves, the heavy creams, and then the dairy-based flavored creamers.
Ooh, like the Coffee Mate, or like the French, like the little
Coffee Mate, yeah,
like
or
French
Nestle
vanilla.
makes it's called Natural Bliss. You'd think from their genius marketing that it's healthy. Natural Bliss. Diabetes. No. So let's talk about half and half and heavy cream. I remember that back in the rise of paleo, like heavy cream was the thing, right? Like heavy cream is better for you because it's not milk, it's got more fat, blah, 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 no sugar. Yeah, but it's really, really, really fatty. And also what we still have to take into account is how are these cows treated in order to extract the heavy cream, right? Because a stressed out cow versus a happy cow is not the same thing, you know? And a lot of fat is not in alignment with your goals. Fat is good, just like carbs are good. A lot of anything, it just doesn't serve you. So I'm calling myself out because at some point in time, I used to go to Starbucks and get a heavy cream and think that I was doing good. What?
I get heavy cream in my coffee sometimes.
Yeah, look, you guys, it's all a matter of opinions.
It's not even opinions. It's a matter of what is the overall outlook on your daily consumption, your monthly consumption, your weekly consumption. What is the overall? We're not here to say you should never have heavy cream. You should never have this. Right. You should never have that. That is not what we're saying. And the reason I like after Sarit just like called out the heavy cream, and I'm looking at her like, bitch, I put a heavy cream in my coffee. Somebody's thinking it. Heavy cream is bad. Look, we're not trying to tell you any of these one things are bad and you should never have them. I would actually say aspartame and sucralose maybe falls under that category.
Yes.
But because there's a lot of ways around that. There's not a lot of ways to make an Americano with heavy cream taste like an Americano with heavy cream without using heavy cream. You get me? So it's like, what do I want? What am I willing? Like, what's the exchange? How often? How frequent? You know, because look, brownies are a part of life and they're fucking delicious. So I would never tell somebody you can never eat a brownie if you want to reach your goals. That's dumb. Then the only thing we want to do is eat a brownie. So don't think that we're trying to tell you, you can never have this, you can never have this, you can never have this, you can never have this. Our goal and our intention is to educate you on what things are going to be more beneficial if you have a fat loss or a weight loss goal, to put in your coffee on a more consistent basis if you are ordering from somewhere else or making it at your house. If you're putting heavy cream in your coffee every single day, it's not measured, you don't care, and there's a bunch of sugar-free syrup, and that's happening every single day, we're still not even going to tell you not to do that unless you say, I would like to lose some body fat and I'm struggling. Then we're going to take a look and be like, here's an area of opportunity. So the goal is to open your eyes and open your mind to see the opportunities that you have to clean things up incrementally from what you're doing on a daily basis if you have a fat loss or a health goal.
Yeah. And I would say too that with the exception of sucralose and aspartame and, you know, all these artificial sweeteners, which we'll talk about in just a second, like take everything that we say with a grain of salt, because if we haven't seen like where are you at in your journey, what does your entire day look like, and what are your goals looking like, then, you know, like some of this may not be applicable for you. But I'm just talking from my own life experience. Like I was talking about it from a daily basis standpoint, which you do not drink heavy cream on a daily basis. It's a very once in a while occasion, kind of like a treat. But I used to put heavy cream in my coffee every single day.
So did I.
Like back in the day when I did paleo, like, you know, thinking, oh, like it's fat, it's good,
Yeah,
you know,
so
like,
did I.
but that shit adds up. Like when you're trying to lose weight and you're getting like 2 fats before you even have eaten anything, like, dude, like,
or you're getting like your coffee is like 150 calories just because there's 3 tablespoons of heavy cream in it, like, which hardly even does anything.
yeah.
Then it's just a great area of opportunity to consider not having on a consistent basis.
Any calories from a beverage is a great area of opportunity. And there's just so many there. Like there is really shitty coffees to like basically like, you know, just pure antioxidants, right? So it's like, take everything with a grain of salt and knowing the elements of your life. What does the rest of your day look like? What are your preferences? What are your goals? Where are you at in your journey? Just be real with yourself about it. I would say that anybody who's got a body comp or a weight loss goal, if you drink heavy cream every single day, unless it's less than you used to drink, then chances are is that that's holding you back. If you're like, dude, I used to drink a cup of heavy cream like as the base of my coffee, and now I only put a little bit, then that's progress. But other than that, then you're consuming so much extra energy. And the question is, does your body even need it? So with regards to heavy cream and half, I mean, what you want to really take into account is the source of it overall. Okay. Because like a lot of half and halves out there, just think like a lot of like, you know, mom and pop restaurants and that sort of thing. It's like, you know, those little cups of like half and half that you can just like rip off.
Me and my little brother used to drink the vanilla ones.
Me too. So bad.
We were just talking about yesterday too, how we used to put spoonfuls of sugar.
The singles of like peanut butter when we would come visit the US, or just like the singles of jelly. I'm like, this is amazing. So the main thing to take into account is where is it sourced from? Okay, like what is the quality of it? Okay, because the reality is that it is higher in fat, The reason why the paleo people will tell you that the heavy cream is better than half and half, it's because it's full fat, therefore it's got no sugar.
Those paleo people.
You know, milk things, half and half is basically like half heavy cream, half milk. Anything that's got milk has sugar to some degree. Lactose is a sugar, hence why sugar. Okay. What?
Those paleo people.
Yeah, we used to be them. And there's some amazing things about paleo, but if you've got body comp goals and you're just crushing cashews like it's nobody's business, then
Why are you saying cashews?
because I used to do it. Stop taking things
I
personally.
was just smashing cashews yesterday. I was smashing cashews. I also crushed a half a bowl of watermelon. I'm also like coming up on that time, and I was like, you know what? I don't even care, because I like y'all have to take it where you're at. Like, you want to lose 50 pounds, then okay, probably crushing some cashews when it's unnecessary isn't going to help you get there. For me, I'm like, this isn't going to make me be any different from one day to the next, and it's not something I do all the time.
Mhm.
So you also have to consider that about yourself. Is it something that you're doing once in a month, or a couple months, or is it something you're doing all the time?
Mhm.
Because it makes a big difference and it adds up. If you were to just take, I hate talking about calories, but just to give you guys like a numbers perspective, if you were to take, and this is the concept of just like consistency, and this goes both ways. If you added 50 calories a day, just 50, what is that in cashews? That's like five cashews, 6 cashews maybe. Okay. So now everybody's like, oh my God, I'm never eating
Costco size. It's
I'm
probably
never
like
eating
3.
cashews again because they have so many calories. Cashews are not the problem. Okay.
Cashews are
But
not
let's
the
say
problem.
50 times 365. If you just added,
Divide that by
Hold on.
3,500.
hold on, I'm on a mission.
Okay.
18,250 calories extra in 1 year. If we divide that by 3,500, that is 5.2 pounds you've either gained or lost because of a 50 calorie difference. So stop thinking that, oh, I have a little of this here and a little of that there and a little of that there and a little of that there, and it doesn't matter because it's only a little bit. It matters. Whether we're talking about weight gain or weight loss, because oftentimes y'all also think that, oh, I'm only at a 50 calorie deficit, so like I'm not going to get anywhere. Well, if you did that for an entire year, you lost 5.2 pounds. It does matter.
Just by putting away those 5 cashews.
But it is the I do it every day versus I do it once a month.
Mm-hmm.
I don't smash a half a bowl of watermelon unnecessarily every day.
Or drink heavy cream in your coffee every day. Yeah.
So you also have to just understand you and what your goals are, get real with what you're doing, commit to what it is you need to do. And when you commit, it means stick to it, and then be accountable. Most people don't want to be accountable. That's completely
Most people
different.
resist accountability because
that's a completely different topic.
Takes courage. Yeah. Anyways, so we talked about the half and half and dairy and heavy cream. Okay, cool. So the next thing is dairy-based flavored products like the Coffee Mates, the oh so delicious things.
Oh, so delicious.
Especially if you guys are basic bitches like us, and come fall time,
Speak for yourself.
the entire house becomes a pumpkin spice parade. Then you're probably like, give me all of the pumpkin spice creamers and that sort of thing. You guys beware. Actually, Silk and
It's pumpkin spice.
they now have non-dairy of those too. So let's just talk about this, you guys. Just because something says non-fat creamer doesn't mean that it's good for you.
Doesn't mean that it's not loaded with sugar.
And especially if it's sweet, they don't put Splenda in it. Stevia in it. They put sucralose in it.
They put the cheapest thing in it.
They put sucralose in it, phenylalanine. They put, just aspartame. All of those, like artificial sweeteners that are just absolutely toxic to your nervous system. I used to drink that all the time up till a couple of years ago. Before I started drinking stevia, those are things that you need to make it, I would say, a commitment to just not put that in your body, because there is so many toxins. Like Coffee Mate, when I started learning these things, and of course I was drinking Coffee Mate leading up to that. And then I looked at the number of ingredients and it's literally like a novel of ingredients. I'm like, put it in the trash, never again.
I want to point out a couple comments and we're going to talk into these.
Okay.
I used to put those in my coffee. Now, when I do, I get headaches. Look, a smoker doesn't know how easy it is to breathe when they don't smoke until they stop smoking. They say, I'm fine. I can breathe fine. No big deal. And then they stop smoking and they're like, holy shit, I had no idea how much I couldn't breathe. You don't know because your body adapts. We are adaptable creatures. So you will adapt to your environment. It doesn't mean it's a good thing. It can be, but usually it's not. Mm-hmm. So when you start treating yourself well and you start eating well and you start feeding yourself things that aren't chemical related, then when you do, your body tells you this shit don't belong here. The other one, look, I used to be bloated for an entire day when I would use Coffee Mate sugar-free in the past.
Yeah.
In the past, which means don't use it anymore. But I would always be bloated.
Yeah.
So, you don't know until you stop. Then you realize, or when you stop and then you go back to it, you're like, ooh, your body had just adapted to garbage.
And the more something is flavored, like the fancier the flavor is, the more artificial flavorings there are, which means that the more chemicals they add to it. Things that are completely unknown.
Creme brulee, coffee creamer.
Yeah. Pecan pie.
Ooh, talk to me.
Yeah, but if it tastes and smells like dessert, then lots of chemicals had to be put in it in order to mimic that. Is what it comes down to.
I'm going to take it back like 5 minutes.
Okay.
If pumpkin spice is the measure of basic bitch, then I am to the max.
Basic AF.
Straight up.
Same. Where my basic bitch is at. Drop a comment.
BB.
Drop a comment. Drop a comment. I know that we're probably... Somebody's probably going to say, I can't believe that these girls are using this language.
I was just thinking.
Our homies
somebody's
get it. Our homies get it. Our homies get it. And that's what matters.
Don't take things personally.
Okay. So now the next point is sweeteners. Okay. Life is sweet, but the reality is that you are sweet enough already, honey.
Wow.
Therefore, you might as well, should you want your coffee to taste a little bit sweeter, then the way that I see it is at least, use something that's a little bit better for you. And just because something says 0 calories or no sugar added doesn't mean that it's actually good for you. So beware of the Splendas, beware of the equals, beware of the sweet and lows when it comes to labels of creamers and things. Beware of words like aspartame, sucralose, phenylalanine, because those are the ones that are used to.
Different strokes for different folks. Dana, you're still welcome here, baby. You know that. All the pumpkin spice haters. You're still welcome here. We love you.
Pumpkin spice belongs in our bedroom too. Pumpkin spice candles are the best.
We just got 3 of them. Did we get 3? No. What kind did we get from Trader Joe's?
We already got a pumpkin spice candle. Judge us. Judge us.
Smells so nice.
Yeah. We're like, okay, we're going to start pumpkin spice season 2 weeks earlier than when Starbucks does this year.
I mean, everything gets pushed forward. I'm surprised Christmas is not on December 12th.
Christmas basically starts on November 15th these
true.
days. I don't know what you're talking about.
That's true.
All right. So beware of these words. Okay. And make it a point, you guys, if you're like, man, I'm traveling. I don't know if this coffee store has blah, blah, blah. Something that Erin and I think, talked about a couple of nights ago is like, don't you ever compromise on anything. And a reason why a lot of people end up compromising in their life, be it with something as small as their sweetener to something as big as their partners, because they just don't plan and prepare in advance. It's literally all the same thing.
You haven't made a decision on what you want before you go, so you just choose and accept and settle for what is.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah.
The solution? Know what you want in advance.
And bring it with you. Bring it with you.
Bring the significant other you don't have with you.
I don't know if you guys saw the IGTV story that I put up a couple weeks ago of the new stevia in the raw that now like has
Sugar.
raw sugar in it. And
It's a combo.
that night we were like, man, like, I'm like, the food industry is so fucked up. I can't believe that they're doing this now, blah, 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 blah. And then I was thinking about it that night, and like we were doing the math for the compound effect, because I'm like, all right, like just like 2 grams of sugar a day, like not a big deal. I work out a lot. And then I'm like, okay, times 2
cups of coffee.
Times 2 cups of coffee per day. That's 4 grams times 365 days. I'm like, that's over 1,000
That's
grams
1,460 grams
of sugar to my poor virgin pancreas. Just kidding. I've abused it a lot.
1,460 grams
Of sugar
in a year.
And then
1 gram is 4 calories times 4. 5,800 divided by 35. 1.6 pounds of fat Sarit just gained by having 1 gram, 2 grams of sugar.
I'm not even thinking about that. I'm thinking about the hormone response that it does to me over a decade.
Not to mention the hormone response over a decade.
Right. So it's like 1,200 grams of sugar per unintentional hidden sugar per year. Times it by 10 years, 1,200 grams of sugar. Will that get me closer to diabetes or a longer lifestyle? I told Erin immediately, we're tossing this shit out.
Yeah, we did.
We didn't even have one of them. And
I think I had 1 or 2 because we were in transition. Ordered it Instacart and we didn't have them.
But we were like, we're going to toss it out. Like we got a box this big. Like what?
We're just unwilling to compromise. You can say that we're wasteful. You can say whatever. Nobody needs it.
No. But, you have to be really, really careful. And then
the stevia, by the way, there's like the green box. There's like the green packets. Stevia and the raw is the stevia. They made a new version. It's like a whitish, brownish, greenish box. And the packages are it's like a green, brown with a hint of white.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, that's weird. They changed their packaging. Okay. And I just got it from Costco because they normally have the kind. And then I was like, this sucks. So then I just ordered the other one from a different store.
Yeah.
You get what you tolerate. And we were not willing to tolerate.
Yeah. No, we tossed it out immediately. Okay. So one more thing. We haven't even talked about the pumps.
Like shoes? Like
no.
the pumps?
No.
Wait, like my biceps?
Like this.
You guys think Sarit's biceps are big. You just can't see mine because I have tattoos. I really try. Someday I'll catch up with Sarit.
I think mine just make a bigger illusion because my arm is short. It's really what it comes down to. Your arm is longer. So yours has more space to spread out to.
I think
But
she's
that's-
just beefier.
But that's not the point. The point is, you guys,
We were talking about pumps.
how about the pumps and the coffees? Like sugar-free French vanilla, sugar-free vanilla, sugar-free hazelnut, or
I used to
maybe
eat
the
all the
regular. So for one, if Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts tells you that it's flavored blah, 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 it's because it's a pump. Okay? So always ask them, do you guys like use a syrup for it? If they're like, I'm not sure, then ask them what goes in your coffee, because 99% of the time, chances are is that it is some kind of pump that they use. Otherwise, they'll have to roast up like 50 different coffees. There are actually a couple places like that, but most of them do not. Okay, so always ask. You guys, in order for you to get what you want in life, you got to ask harder questions, whether it's to the barista, whether it's to the waiter or waitress, just to be clear, because otherwise you're compromising. And then you're like, man, I'm doing all these things and the weight's not going down. Well, are you clear about everything that you're putting in your body? Because like the barista's job is not to know what your goals are or to know anything about nutrition. And the same thing about the waiter, the same thing about the chef.
Their goal is to get you some nom, 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 nom.
Yeah. The goal is to make your drink and food look and taste good so that you keep on coming back for more.
And the best combination of sugar and fat tastes better. So that's what they're going to try to give you.
Yeah. So, when it comes to pumps, just be mindful. One second.
Yeah. Yes.
Pumps. So
I used to have those all. I would literally go. There was a store that sold them in bulk. And I would literally go and I would get vanilla and I would get whatever cream and I would get Irish cream and I would get what are all the flavors? Peppermint. I would get all of them. And I'd be like, I got all these. I looked like the Starbucks.
I remember when we first moved into San Diego, you rolled in with like 5 bottles.
Yeah, dude.
You rolled in with 5 bottles. So
that was even like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot happens in 5 years though.
And you guys also remember that sugar-free pump doesn't mean that it's better than regular. One is going to spike up your insulin. The other one's going to jack up your nervous system. But, by the end of the day, when it comes to your order, it's all about being intentional. Mm-hmm. Okay. Like, are you getting it just because it's like, what's the occasion? Is it because you didn't plan in advance for your coffee at home?
It's Instacart.
Oh, is it because, you're traveling and you need coffee? Is it because you are across the street from your favorite coffee place and you want to treat yourself? Set an intention, be clear on your intention, set some boundaries, be clear on your boundaries, and, take everything with a grain of salt.
A grain of sugar.
Or a grain of sugar in this case. Because, what will be most impactful for me will not be most impactful for Erin, will not be the most impactful thing for Kayla or Mel, because you guys, we're all at different points in our journey. We are all different people with different preferences and, just a different lifestyle. And, the point is to be educated so that you can be as intentional as often as possible. Because when you're intentional and you're also educated and you're committed, then you're going to make better choices more often, and your choices are going to dictate your action and therefore your consistency and therefore your results. It's that simple. All right, you guys. So that being said, we hope that you enjoyed today's episode. We're super grateful that you joined us today. Definitely missed you over the last 2 days. Just a reminder that Fridays, our guest interview days. And tomorrow we have a very, very special guest, Mike. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. He's the founder of AMI. AMI is an incredible company, and they're putting
they're
stop
doing amazing things
to the opioid crisis in the US. They're doing absolutely incredible things. I can't believe that we're able to get a hold of him. Super grateful that we did. He's going to shed some light on what's currently happening in the nation, what they're up to, and why they're doing what they're doing. So same time, same place tomorrow, noon Eastern. You guys, if you like this episode, then please do us a small favor and share it with somebody else who would find benefit from learning how to improve their coffee orders so that they too can live a better life. But between now and tomorrow, we hope that you have a beautiful day. If you have any questions with regards to anything that pertains to your goals, just go ahead and send either Erin or myself a message and let's talk. We're here to help you guys. We're on a mission to transform the lives of millions through the same movement, nutrition, lifestyle, and financial habits that have transformed ours. Thank you for joining us today.
Once again, I'm Callie. Thanks for watching the show. My mom must really appreciate it. And now it's time to go.
Wow. All right, you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.